Hey guys, Sekapoko here, bringing another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. We're going to be going over Limit Break, worth it or not worth it, and we're going to, I think this is episode 4 now, we're going to be doing. So we have lots of characters that I think are worth limit breaking, not a lot of characters not worth limit breaking, and this video just goes over what I think on each type of character and if you should limit break them or not. So without further ado, we're going to go into the video, but if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down below just so we can support the channel. And of course, if you do want to get notifications on all the Sekapoko videos, go ahead and go to my channel and hit the bell notification in order to get notifications on whenever I drop a video. So without further ado, let's go. So we're going to talk about Speed Jiro first. We ended off on Coliseum Ganfor last time, which I think was a worth it unit. Definitely a really cool limit break. Really, really interesting. I liked it a lot. Speed Jiro has a limit break, but overall, Speed Jiro is like a really not used character. Could be useful as a limit break character, but he maxes out 5 turns. I did look into this a little bit before the video. I'm going to say this is not worth it because there's nothing about Speed Jiro that you really need to improve. If you need to bring Speed Jiro, but don't limit break him because he's yeah, it's not that worth it. Next unit in the list is going to be Fujitora, and Fujitora has a really weird limit break. Like, it's really weird. It's like they want him to be a sub. It's like he gets really good sailor ability. He's going to boost attack of stats of powerhouse and German characters by 50. I don't even know if they'll stack. I'm probably sure they don't. He's gonna get crit, you're gonna get special cooldown reduction. All that's really nice, but it's Fuji. And his max limit break stats give him an extra 175 attack, which is really needed, but his attack is already really low to begin with. He's at 1380. For a legend, that's really low. So he's gonna go up to 1535 attack, which is, you know, respectable, but it's a lot of crystals to just get up to 1535 attack. I mean, that kind of just hits me the wrong way. To be honest, they're trying to make this guy a sub, which is really weird. I definitely can see it, but I am not in love with this limit break. I'd say it's worth it. Just really far back burner. It's just not worth it right now. It won't be worth it for a while. Like, unless you really, really need to, and you really need to blow crystals on somebody, and like it's this character maybe, but you know. Overall, it's okay. It's okay. The sailor ability is the only thing that makes it worth it for me. It didn't have the sailor ability in the stats. It's like, yeah, whatever. All right, next character is going to be Donsai. Now, Donsai is a pretty useful unit. It's very difficult to use this unit because you have to be below 30% HP to get the most buff out of this unit. And he's kind of like Don Chinjao in usefulness because of how it works with him. But the unfortunate thing with this unit is that there is a unit that replaces it that's better. And because that unit is better, I'm a little iffy on making this guy worth it. The only thing that's really cool about this character is he goes down to 12 turns when you fully limit break him, which is kind of cool. Is the 5, and he is farmable as far as his sock ability goes, but so is the other unit that replaces him, which is Sandersonia. He does get the special rewind, which is really, really cool. I do like that a lot, and he does get the quick orbs beneficial, which is really, really good as well. So overall, I'd say yes, this is worth it, but you're gonna be hard pressed to find a time that you're going to use this unit over Sandersonia. It's worth it, but there are other units that are more optimal. So do this guy way later on. Next unit in the tree is going to be Mansherry. Now, Mansherry has one of the coolest limit breaks. I think it's really funny. Mansherry does not get healing in her limit break. It's really weird. I thought it was so weird. Like, there's like no recovery in her limit break. It's just straight up attack and HP. So Mansherry starts out initially at 642 attack, and she gets 120 extra attack, which is really funny. So now she goes up to 762 attack, which is stupid, by the way. It's like, why would you do that? That's terrible. Like, why would you make a character go from 762, like 642 to 762? That's awful. So the sailor abilities are the only thing that could be a saving grace, or the in sockets as well. I think this is a return. This is like recover 1 turn of special rewind, which is kind of cool. And then this one is, oh no, wait, this is 2 turns of special rewind, and then the other one's like 1 turn of special seal. I think. Yeah, let me just double check that if we can get that right. Yeah, so it's 1 turn of rewind, and the other one is 1 turn of. This one's 1 turn rewind. This one's 2 turns of silence, which is kind of cool. I think the 5th socket's really nice. For her limit break, she gets the damage reduction and slot seal recovery. Not worth. Mansherry, not worth. Sorry, Mansherry. If you got recovery, obviously you'd be worth, but right now, you're not worth. Alright, next unit on the list is Leo. Now, Leo is going to boost the attack of striker characters in his limit break. Does not have a sailor ability initially. He gets the pinch healing, which is kind of cool. That one's one of everybody's favorite. And the thing that makes Leo pretty worth it is actually he gets a new captain ability, which boosts the attack of striker and free spirit characters by now 2.45, which makes him a striker free spirit character, which is interesting. I do kind of like that. And getting him that kind of boost is nice, but I don't think you're ever going to use him as a free spirit captain unless you really, really have to. The recovery thing is really cool, though. I do like that, so you can make some fun plays with that. And it's also going to boost his character's attack against dex used by 2 times, which is also really cool. So Leo has a lot of cool things in his limit break. All of it is really stacked toward it being good. Problem with doing Leo, there's a big problem, is that it's Leo. Initially, he was not that useful. Like, he's a really good unit. He's an ore blocker. I like all that. His attack goes up really high. I'd say it's worth it. I just don't see when you're going to find the usefulness for this limit break. I really, like, he has all the great makings of all the limit break stuff. Everything on this character is amazing for limit breaking. If anybody does limit break this character, I will not think poorly of you. I cannot think in my head of a way that this is going to be super, 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 super good. But there might be a time in the future. It's like right there, but there's like something missing, and I can't tell what it is. It's definitely good though. It's definitely good limit break. For me, I'm gonna say yes, but back burner because I can't figure it out. I can't, like, even though everything's perfect on the limit break, I just cannot figure out why I would use that unit. Ricky, unit sucks. Don't get a limit break. I don't even want to go into it. Unit sucks. Next unit is gonna be Barto. Now Barto, I actually started recording a video earlier with Barto. And Barto is actually really interesting for limit break. The thing that's nice about Barto is he goes down and cooldown by a lot. But the thing that's bad about Barto is that all he really gets is stats, and they're trying to make him a sailor, which I'm not a huge fan of. But his attack goes way, way up. It goes up to 1650 attack, which is really high, which means he's going to be up to 1850 attack, which is going to be on par with Nekomamushi. And his HP is going to go through the roof. He's basically on almost 4,500 HP when he's fully limit broken and HP candied out. So that's really good. That's really high. I do like that a lot. His captain ability is really cool. I do like that. Everything about him is really good. What I hope to see is I really hope to see Barto gets a 6+ along with this limit break, because the limit break is pretty cool, but it's missing a lot of things. His sailor abilities are completely paralyzed, and the other sailor ability, which is earlier on, is plus 60 attack to strikers, I think. So that both his sailor abilities are pretty good. He gets 4 extra cooldown off his special, so that's also really cool. His abilities are reduce the orb seal, and then he also gets a damage reduction, I think, from quick, and then the other one's in rage, I believe. Let me just double check that last one. Yeah, damage reduction. So that one's damage reduction. And he goes up to 7% damage reduction, I believe, which is really cool. I do like a lot of the things on this character. I don't find anything wrong with this character. I am not in love with the limit break. He's really good, but like, you're basically stacking on Barto, and everyone knows Neko's better. But like, if you have to do it, you have to do it. So there's nothing wrong with it. Back burner for me. Not really like super useful right now, but definitely useful as the limit break goes. Next to be Abdullah and Jeet. Now, Abdullah and Jeet has a really interesting limit break. He has a really good sailor ability increase, which is going to be a slasher striker 50 attack, which is really good. And then his sailor ability 2, which is the most useful thing I love about this character, is going to reduce his own swordsman special by 1 turn whenever it's remounted. And if you don't know about Abdullah and Jeet's initial special, it's actually going to reduce the cooldown of slashers and strikers by 1 turn. So if he gets rewounded, it's going to rewind it forward by 1 turn, and then he can use a special and pull everybody's special forward, which is really cool. So if you are going to use Abdullah and Jeet, definitely worth it. I like it. It's good. It's good for speed teams. Definitely not worth it for like mid-game players. It's really good for late-game players if you're really trying to get like super speed teams off. Definitely good. It's definitely a back burner because you're not going to use this all the time. It's not going to be like a super mega unit, so that's awesome. All right, next is gonna be Don Chinjao. Now Don Chinjao is, for me, I'd say a definite worth it. The reason Don Chinjao is a definite worth it is because he is one of the few 2-turn orb boosters in the game. Now, even though you have to be below 30% to trigger his special, that is not difficult to attain. There are so many HP reducers in the game now that is really easy to do. So, his sailor ability, the first one you get, is boost the attack and HP of striker and powerhouse characters by 50. Really, really good for all the striker powerhouse meta that's out right now. It's also going to have a super cool captain ability increase, where it's going to boost the attack of powerhouse characters by 2.25 instead of 2 times, and boost the HP of striker characters by 2 times. Having an HP increaser by 2 times means you can do some really interesting teams with HP reducing characters like, I don't know, Ganfor. Do like 500,000 AOE with Ganfor. That'd be pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I was testing it out earlier. It was awesome. He's going to get a lot of stat increases. Now, here's the thing about Don Chinjao. He starts at 1424 attack, right? So I actually did go all in on this Don Chinjao because he was one of the first characters that got a limit break, and I was kind of iffy on like if I should do him or not. But then I was like, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. And then I learned more and more about the limit break, and this is his final stats after limit break. He gets an extra 100 attack, going up to 1524 attack. Very, very cool. And seeing how there's very few characters that are really worth the limit break, it's definitely good. He also gets critical strike, which is pretty cool, and then he gets enrage as well, which is very, very cool. And seeing how he would go down to initially 13 turns before, now he goes down to 11 turns. So it's an 11-turn, 2-turn orb booster as long as you're below a certain HP threshold, which is very, very cool. And it's definitely not difficult to obtain anymore, so it's definitely a thing that I think you should have. And I'd say it's a yes in my book. Definitely yes. Next is going to be Diamante. Now, Diamante has a limit break. I don't care what it is. It's worth it. I don't care what it is. If only I could get Diamante. If only. It doesn't matter what it is. It's worth it. Next is going to be is Gladius. Gladius actually has a really cool limit break. I really like his limit break. So if you are in need of a quick captain, his original captain ability is a 2.5 quick captain, and now his limit break captain ability is 2.75 quick, non-conditional. So that's really cool. Getting a 2.75 captain for free is really, really nice. So that's nice. That's really nice. He's also going to lower his cooldown by 1, which is really good. And then his sailor ability, if you didn't want to use him as a captain, is going to be boost stats of quick characters by 30, which is also good. He's got an extra socket, very, very good. He has farmable sockets, also good. So all that is really, really good. For me, I am not going to do it, but if I was in need of a quick captain, yeah, this is definitely worth it. You get an extra 100 attack on this character, putting him up to 1471 attack. That's also really good. Get some extra HP, get some recovery on him, which is pretty cool. Get that extra socket, cooldown reduction, going down to 14 turns. All of it's good. There's nothing wrong with this limit break. It's definitely a good limit break. This is definitely a limit break. So that's all good. I'd say this is a worth it, but I'm not going to do it because I don't need it. Next is going to be Kizaru. Now, Kizaru's limit break is he has a good. Okay, so I will say this: he does get a good limit break as far as getting all the good stuff in here. But the thing that I say to not do is don't limit break Kizaru, because it's just like we just got Kai raids, we just got a new version. Now we're getting another version of the same unit, but limit breaking the original unit. So it's just giving like a hat on top of a hat on top of a hat. So it's like, you know, you don't need to keep making Kizaru better, man. Just no. So not worth it. Some of the raid characters are just not worth it. Some are, but some aren't. Next is going to be Nami. Now, this Nami has a limit break path. I was trying to find a reason for this Nami to be useful or not useful, and I looked into this a little bit further, and it's actually really good. So the limit break on this Nami is really interesting. So her captain ability before was boost the attack of cerebral units by 2 times. Now it actually goes up to 2.25 times, so that's pretty cool. So you could use her as a captain potentially if you really wanted to for a cerebral team, because you do get the cooldown all specials reduced, which is really, really nice. Nami also gets 4 turns off her special. Her biggest, or not 4 turns, 5 turns off her special, because her biggest problem before was that she was way too long. Now she goes down to 12 turns. Wow, 12 turns. You can get rid of any binded character. They can be binded for 99 turns. You get rid of that bind. Boom, 12 turns gone. Easy. So that's really nice. Her sailor ability. The sailor ability, the first one is going to treat different orbs matching. I believe it's anti-orbs matching. This one, and then this one is going to be give 50 stats to cerebral characters, I believe it. I don't think it's striker. I think it's 50 stats at cerebral. I don't know if it was HP recovery or attack, but I think it was attack. Big problem with this Nami is her attack is super low already, so she's gonna be going up to 1191 attack, which is kind of meh on the attack. However, the nice captain ability increase plus the cooldown, really nice. Sailor ability also nice, and finally the mass socket also nice as well. But you know what? You could stop probably here. If you wanted to just get the cooldown on her, you'd probably be fine. You actually don't need to go all the way. I'd say getting all the way to the cooldown is probably where you want to go if you're going to do this character. If you wanted to go all the way, great. But she's not really a farm leader. She's going to get damage reduction here against intelligence characters and more damage reduction there, which is really weird. I don't know why they're doing double damage reduction, but I guess they really want to on some characters. But overall, it's okay. I like it. This is a yes for me. It's definitely a limit break. You're definitely seeing a major buff to this character. So she gets everything she needs. That's good. Buffalo. That was quick. Vergo is kind of interesting. So Vergo is introducing this striker damage reduction captain meta, where we're getting lots of striker captains that were 2.5 captains before. Now getting a damage reduction on top of that. So his captain ability increase is going to give him a 7% damage reduction from all characters, which is really interesting. I do kind of like that. He's also going to get percent damage reduction against Sai, and then he's also, for his limit break ability, he's going to give an enrage as well. Now, he's going to lose 2 cooldown off the special, so he's going to go from a 12-turn cooldown down to a 10-turn cooldown, which is pretty cool. And if you did want to use him as a sailor, he is going to make it so that if you hit a perfect, I believe you retain your int orb. I think that's what it says. I was trying to translate it, but you know, me and translating is like 75% of the time I get it right, 25 now. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Vergo initially had a 1410 attack, which is really nice, and then now he goes up to about 1510, which is really, really cool. So he definitely gets a boost to his limit break. I'd say if you're missing striker captains, definitely worth doing. It can definitely see some play. I do like that it goes down to 10 turns. That's also interesting. And the damage reduction captain ability is really cool too. But I'm not sure you're going to use Vergo as a character. As a unit, he's kind of eh. But, you know, if you really want to use him, great. I'd say you can hold off. So it's a no for me for now. But it definitely, if you do it, I will not think poorly of you. Next is going to be Squard. Squard is a yes. The short version on Squard is he is a yes. The main reason Squard's a yes is because the first part of his limit break, if you just go up to here, he's going to go down to 10 turns. That's really good. Now, Squard initially has 1434 attack, right? He also has negative 150 recovery. Well, in his limit break, he actually gets 150 recovery. So he goes down to 0 recovery. So he doesn't have negative recovery, which is really nice. I do like that. So they're getting rid of his negative recovery. They are giving him an extra 100 attack, putting him up to 1534 attack, reducing his cooldown by 4, which is really good. Putting him down to 10 turns on a 1.75 orb boost. Really, really good. He also still does that fixed damage, which is really cool. And he gets a sailor ability, which is going to return. I think this is going to be 2 turns of 2 turns of silence, because he already has 2 turns of paralysis recovery. Unless they're going to stack on his paralysis recovery. I think it's silence recovery. It said numbness, so I'm not sure if this is like already ingrained in him. He has this. Let's go and check him out. Actually, let's check out Squad real quick. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so I guess it's 4 turns then. Yeah, I guess he will have 4 turns of paralysis recovery, because that's the same wording, right? Did I say that right? Oops. Oh, it's not. This is okay. So this is paralysis. The other one's different. I guess maybe this is silence then. We'll say it's silence for now. 2 turns of something. Maybe it's not special rewind though. It's probably something else though. I think it's silence. Maybe it's blindness. We'll say blindness for now. But yeah, this is worth it. It's definitely worth it. 100%. Great unit. Next would be Raid Aokiji. Now, Raid Aokiji is the same thing I say with the Kai Aokiji and everything like that. Since there is a Kai Raid version of this, I don't really think it's with it. But here's the weird thing about Raid Aokiji. This Raid Aokiji is going to get an extra 90 attack, which is kind of cool. It boosts attack even further. He gets a Sailor ability. And his Sailor ability is actually 50 attack to strikers, which is pretty good. I'm actually, like, I was actually like a little surprised that he had a really good sailor ability. He also gets that 1 cooldown reduction, so it puts him at the same level as the other guy, and he gets that extra socket, which the Dex aokiji actually didn't have. So he actually is what Kai aokiji should have been, which kind of pisses me off, kind of like, kind of don't like. But you know, the problem with aokiji is he is named aokiji, and you can't use him on the teams you want to use him on. So for me, I'd say no. Aokiji's not worth it, even though he does have a good limit break. He's a no. All right, so we already went over Usopp the last video. Next, we're going to go over Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard has a bad limit break. I really don't like it. He gets HP to strength characters with a sailor ability, but he can't use him as a sailor, so that doesn't make any sense. So he's a no. He gets 1 cooldown off as some attack. Next, yeah, it's a no. It's a no. Straight up no. Next, we're going to go over some of the earlier characters in the game. Scratchman Apoo. Scratchman Apoo is going to be a no for me. Now, he does get a good captain ability increase, but to be honest, he's too old. The stuff of the unit is just too old. You just don't. It's not worth it. Next is going to be Captain Kid. He gets a similar captain ability to Vergo, where he gets the 7% damage reduction, which is really cool. I do like that, but to be honest, this is also kind of a no for me. Like, you do get you get a sailor ability as well, which would be 75 attack to strikers, which is really good. But his special ability is not that good in general, so I'm gonna say no. This would be a no for me. This would be Zephyr. This could be a yes for me. Zephyr, actually, you're not going to go all the way on Zephyr. The thing with Zephyr is you can go all the way to the captain ability if you really want to, but I'd say you could stop right here at that special reduction here, because the thing with Zephyr that you really want is the socket. I actually stopped here. You could keep going if you wanted to and get that extra 2 cooldown right here and try to get all that. That's all good. This is all the cool stuff. Everything from this point on is not worth it. So I'd say the thing that's really worth about doing for the Zephyr is at least get this much, because this is really cheap to get that extra socket. Definitely worth getting that much on him. Everything else, you can decide if you want to go all the way to here to get the extra cooldown. I'd say definitely worth it. Next going to be Mad Monk Urouge. Boo, character sucks, don't get it. Basil Hawkins. Boo, character sucks, don't get it. Blamenco the Mallet. It was actually pretty good. I was checking it out. The limit break was pretty good. So he gets 2 sailor abilities, a socket, and he gets lots of cooldown reduction, which moves him down to a 6-turn cooldown, which is really cool. That means he's going to be a 6-turn orb manipulator for Dex and Quick to Strength. So that's really cool. I do like that. That is actually really, really nice. His sailor ability is going to treat a different color as matching. I don't remember. I think it was Quick Orbs as matching. And then this other sailor ability is going to be Dex Orbs as matching. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I looked it up earlier today. I just forgot about it. Overall, this is kind of interesting. I do kind of like that the cooldown is like super, super low. These really low cooldown units are really interesting. So definitely a maybe. Not right now, but if you're a late game player, maybe it might be useful to get all the way up to the cooldown, maybe even the socket if you really want the socket. But he's kind of old, so you're not really going to use him that often. Izo, same problem as everybody before. She's really old. She's really hard to use. Her attack stats really low. Same with Blamenco. The attack stats were really low there. Blamenco had a 1160 attack. I think he maxes out like 12 something. Let's see. Yeah, 1252. So Izo and Blamenco, same problems, but Izo again goes down to 6 turns, which is really, really cool. I do like that it makes him down 6-turn cooldown. That's really cool. She gets a good sailor ability, which is really nice, and boosts the attack of Dex characters and attack of shooting characters by 1 or 2. I mean, I'm gonna say no, man. I just gotta say no. They're both not worth doing right now, but definitely if you're a late game player, you really want to get those 6-turn cooldowns off, maybe. If you want to Shattered Fortress it up, that's what they're for. Dex Mihawk, I'm gonna say yes. If you are a newer player, probably gonna be like bottom of the barrel for you to do. But he gets 2 sockets. Like Dex Mihawk with 3 sockets is pretty hotness. I mean, let's see, if we go to the quick version of Mihawk, if I can pull him up real quick. Quick version of Mihawk only gets 2 sockets, which is good, but Dex version gets 3 sockets. That's actually pretty cool, and is really easy to farm. And with he gets a crit mechanic, which is really cool. And then he's a max with the bind sockets and everything. So all that's really cool. I like that a lot. And getting 2 sockets is really cool. And then his new captain ability is also really good as well. It's better than the high mihwak captain ability. It's definitely this one's definitely a yes for me. But it's gonna be I'd say if you're a later game player, yeah, sure. But if the early game players, and I don't know if I would do it right now because I can't find a use for him right now because I'm always gonna be using the other mihwak, the strength mihwak, versus this mihwak because the strength mihwak is so good. He's so good. Can't not use that. The last one's gonna be happiness punch nami. And of course, it says this unit has a limit break. Sad face. And I think this character gets 1 turn of cooldown reduction. Was he at the 6 turns? Yeah. So he gets 2 turns. So it goes on to 5 turns. So that means that this character will go down to 5 turns. It does get a captain ability increase, which is going to be 1.2 times recovery to intelligence characters in addition to that. And then it's going to get an extra socket, which is kind of cool too. But to be honest, this character is really weak and really old. It's going to be it's going to be a 5-turn unit, which is really cool. But you're not going to get massive stat increases to boost you up. You only get 90 attack. Really not worth it. So that's probably not going to be worth it. Well, that's going to be it for all the limit break characters that we're going to have for One Piece Treasure Cruise that are available right now before the Mince Book Bat drops. Well, I'm Sekapoko, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. And of course, have a great rest of your day. Peace.